Hello guys and welcome to the week 1 of the CBN, Castelia Battle Network, I think, yeah. So for this week I might do more in depth draft analysis stuff. I don't have much time right now, so I'm just going to talk about my prep and then go right over to the match. But if you guys want to see that stuff, I don't have anything against doing it in the future. But for this, I'm just going to go over my prep, as you can see right in front of you right now, and then the battle. For this battle, I'm facing the commissioner himself, who has a pretty interesting trick room based team with a bit of speed with a bit of psychic spam fast mode to it. So it's been like a week since I played this, by the way, so if I forget stuff, my bad. Yeah, so the opponent has stuff like Noivern, like Diancie, like Grandpa, and stuff like that, so I knew that I wanted to have Marvel for this match because it checks Grandpa and Trick Room, which otherwise is a huge threat to me. Also, it's just annoying and good with taunts and team bait and stuff like that. It's a pretty special defensive set with Focus Sash. The only reason I'm opting for the Sash is in case it's like Choice Specs Fire Blast Rampa. That's really it. It's just a nice item to have. My main win con for this match is the Crossma, because my opponent just doesn't have anything for setup the Crossma. Pretty standard set of Coal Mine Moonlight stored power. The reason I'm running Brass's Seed is both because it makes me bulkier, makes my stored power hit harder, but the opponent has scary stuff like Poltergeist Dusknoir and knockoff Guts Conkelder, so I want to just beat that with my setup one. Now the opponent could bring stuff like Haste Dusknoir, like Taunt Noivern, but the crossover is just so good against him, so even if it does bring some counter prep, I'm pretty confident that I can play around it. My secondary win-con this set is just Belladrum and Azumarill. Their only counter to the Azumarill counter is, well, it's Gastrodon, which is really tough to bring against a team with Rillaboom. So unless it brings stats like Azumarill will just kill everything. I'm bringing Gothorita this week, so that I can trap the opponent in with passive stuff like Indeedee, like Diancie, not Dusknoir, but stuff like that, so that I can set up on it with either Crossma or Azumarill. Good fake out support as well, and Expanding Force it's there for Indeedee. Not only is it powered up, but it ignores the follow me, which is what makes Indeedee female the monster that it is in VGC. Just a standard wonky assault vest Rillaboom, not a lot to say about it. Fake out, U-turn. It enables Necrozma, which is the main thing. It's just nice to have, really. It hits Grandpa hard with Frame Punch. It beats, well, not beats, but it threatens monsters like Necrozma, no, not Necrozma, Diancie from the opponent's side. Well, yeah, it's just full Rillaboom, not a whole lot to say about it, and I'm bringing Scrafty. Scrafty isn't the best here, to be honest. I'm bringing it because Fake Out and Taunt is nice, but like opponent can bring stuff like Conkelder, play with Kaparaja, Dazzling Beam, Indeed Female, Wyvern, White Smoke, Scorch. It can bring a lot to just kill my Scraft and be annoying against it, but like Fake Out, Taunt and Knockoff is just really nice, so why not? I didn't have anything much better to bring against him. I almost brought my Flydon that I traded away the following week with like Choice Scarf, Earth Power, Dragon Balls, but it's weak, it's bad. So I'm just going to bring Scraft instead, see how it goes. Let's go right into the match itself. So the opponent has for the most part stuff that I was expecting. I was expecting Conkeldurr, which didn't come, and Gazidon kinda just because of Sondren for Anzu. Scorch is a cool pick because White Smoke Magic makes it immune to my Intimidates, and if I had like my Mortar this week, it could have also been Flash Fire and just hold it. My Wyvern, Dusknoir, Diancie, DD pretty like, yeah, he was going to bring that. If I hadn't said this before, this matchup is pretty bad for my opponent, to be honest. But that doesn't make the opponent's draft any less of a threat, just something to keep in mind. So, what? Huh? PRP. There we go. So I'm just going to go with the first game plan, which is Necrozma Rillaboom with Gothorita on the back and then Intimidate. I should be better at actually saying their nicknames, so I'll try to remember to say their nicknames from this point on. The original plan was to bring Reptilia for game 1, but the opponent had Scorch, so I actually do end up going away from my game plan or my original plan. I'm bringing no culture instead. It doesn't really matter which one I bring in that stuff, but they're like both are solid. Since I'm not bringing anything better for Scorch, I'm not bringing my real devs this match, so I don't want to be weaker to Scorch than I need to. GLHF to my opponent. Also again, this is the commissioner, so pretty high stakes for week 1. The opponent leads with Dusknoir Wyvern. A little bit up. Reveals to be Frisk on the Wyvern, to be expected. Also this, well, this isn't really a surprise, but this confirms that it is an Iron Ball Wyvern, because Mr. Fair got his grassy terrain up after the Frisk. Dusknoir is Frisk as well, that's cool. Yeah, so I basically lose nothing from just faking out the Wyvern and combining with Mad IQs in 1. Even if he has like Toxic Dusknoir, I specifically brought my type in the back for Healballs, Healball support to beat that, so that Mad IQs can just win. Really, the only way for the opponent to deal with Mad IQs is Haze. Which, like, that's really good prep from the opponent if it is Haze. I don't completely remember what the set my opponent brought was, because it's been like a week since I saw it sets. He wisps my Mr. Fair, turn 1, that's fair. It burns me, like, okay, cool, but like whatever. So I don't want him to hurricane my Mr. Fair this turn, because Mr. Fair is really good late game against stuff like Diancie, so I want to keep it healthy and alive. Also, I get to get another round of takeout off. He can't taunt my Malacus, which is fine, but that means he can't hurricane my no culture this turn, so that's fine. Like, he stopped another coal mine, but now I can just click Sword Power because he has a similar resist in Copper and I guess in DD2, although it powers off my psychic moves with his psychic terrain, with her psychic terrain, sorry. I don't remember what move I went with no culture. I think I clicked knockoff, which is just free. It breaks. It gives me information on the node run for game 2, which item it is, and catches a switch as well. Just no culture isn't the best for this matchup, but it's crafty. Like, it's crafty in VGC. Who cares if it's a bad matchup? It's still just a good mod. It burns my no culture as well, that's fine. I just want it for taunt fake out, really. Knockoff is cool as well. He reveals to be Colberberry on the Indeed, that's nice to know, I guess. Doesn't really change a lot, but hey. That means it's not like Citrus Berry and can take more hits from minor Qs. Yeah. Like, since the Snore can't poltergeist Madam Q's, I don't really consider the Snore a threat at this point, so I'm just going to attack. I'm just going to taunt the Indeedee, and I think I targeted the Dusknoir, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, and anyways, he just clicks for me. I really don't care about Indeedee in this position. He can't do anything against other humans. I crit him with sword power. That sucks because I can't take another one from this point. The taunt wears off on minor Qs. Here I make a pretty unnecessary play. I end up switching Mr. Fair back in to interfere with the psychic terrain. I click Detect with minor Qs, hard reading him targeting my minor Qs with his Centiscorch, which, like, it doesn't really matter what the Centiscorch does for if it attacks my minor Qs this turn because of Prison Armor and because of Resuscite. I also have a lot of physical bulk on minor Qs this week, so this was just a bad play. It gave my opponent a chance to like coil or something for no reason. Alternatively, I could have just click on mine because who cares about Centiscorch? Yeah, I get the read right, so who's to say which play was right? It wasn't this play though, it wasn't this play. I should have just attacked with my Qs instead. So yeah, like, this is just turn 1 all over again. I can just fake out call 9. Because Strip Room wears off this turn, even if he switches Indeedee in to remove my grassy terrain and beat my fake out, like, cool, but Boom, I mean, Mr. Fair outspeeds my IQ, so I can just U-turn and sword power the following turn, so that's fine. But he reveals Bulldoze and White Smoke. How I can tell that it's White Smoke is because its speed wasn't lowered. It's also, well, it doesn't reveal, but it gives me a good idea that he has some sort of weakness policy proc set up with his other mons, more than likely Raja or Diancie in Trick Room. Diancie has Clear Body, so it doesn't get the speed drop, but Raja is so slow anyway, so in Trick Room it doesn't mind taking a -1 speed drop. And yeah, it's White Smoke. I switched No Culture in this turn because I don't want him to Fire Lash Mr. Fair this turn. Like again, if it's Diana. Well, he's revealed all his mons anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but Grassy Glide might be nice late game. Like it's a completely free switch into No Culture anyways. He reads my sword power, good day. Now, because No Culture hasn't been bulldozed, he actually outspeeds my IQ, so he can't follow me away my sword power. Even if I didn't switch No Culture in, like Mr. Fair also outspeeds my mad IQs. But having No Culture in meant that I didn't have to take a Fire Lash on Mr. Fair. Yeah, DD dies to knock off. And now I have a +2, I think 100 base power psychic move boosted by Psychic Terrain. Of course that's going to win the kill. And yeah, at this point I basically won the game. Even if he has something to hit No Culture with, and I won. I invested into a lot of special bulk on No Culture, so I will be able to take the Hurricane quite comfortably. I could have switched No Culture into my type, I guess, but I didn't want to give away information for game 2, that what my last one was. Like yeah, I just taunt and sword power and win. Air cutter. That's cool. I don't think it's good, but hey, that's a cool animation. Yep, everyone dies. And the Darksnor literally can't do anything at this point. So, even if he wants to play out the game, he has absolutely no chance of even KOing one of my mons. And he forfeits. It's pretty clear which mon will kill the Darksnor, so like why not? Speeds up time. So at this point it's pretty clear that my IQ is to play game 2. But god damn it, I have another plan and I want to show it up, so I'm going to go with little depths this time instead of Mad IQs, as well as Reptilia instead of No Culture. I'm doing my type with little depths so that if you need something stupid like something passive, I can fake out Empathygram like against the lead he made game 1. If he leads like in DB plus something else, I can switch out little depths into Missing Fair to remove the Psychic Terrain and then just fake out whatever is again, whatever is next to DD. I guess the only thing that I can't just beat is indeed the Darksnor. You can just follow me Trick Room or like Darksnor Diancie, where like if it was Diancie in DD, I can just fake out swap the devs into Mr. Fair and just fake out, and then I have Mr. Fair against a rough type. but it makes the Diancie Dusknoir lead this time around. That's probably the worst lead he could have, or at least the worst lead I could have got into. I'm not thinking a lot here, I'm just going to protect and swap out. Get Reptilia in, I brought Reptilia mainly to deal with this Diancie. Taunt is nice against Dusknoir as well. He's not going to burn my type with Dusknoir, so I'm not scared of like Wisp burning Reptilia. Yeah, Diancie doesn't really have anything against Mawile, but like, it's a Mawile, who cares? Mawile's nice. And yeah, like, not a whole lot to say about that turn, like, I'm just repositioning, since I didn't expect this lead. Now I'm just going to taunt one of his mons, I don't remember which, and swap into Mr. Fair to start just trying to get the right mons in against him. I'm not scared of him burning Mr. Fair as well, because like I have heal bell on my type, so it's fine. But at the same time, it's nice being able to not be burned against Diancie, so I'm going to taunt the Dusknoir instead of superfanging the Diancie, which ends up working out perfectly, basically. And he bulldozes this turn. Cool. It doesn't do any damage. Like it's a legit option for speed control. I give him that. Luckily for me, like my wing cons have priority, so as long as I play Mr. Fair correctly and keep my terrain up and don't let him just start terraining away my Acrojets, it should be fine. This turn I just want to start chipping the Diancie, honestly. Like, I got the Iron Defense boost from Diamond Storm, so I can't come close to KOing it out with Mr. Fair. But it swaps out into DD and blocks my fake out. Good play from the opponent, but like if it's on random weakness policy set with bulldoze, me thinking it out means that he can't just bulldoze and get off a ton of damage with a plus 2 boosted Diamond Storm. Here I'm like here it's pretty free to just taunt the new turn and get in my type and just trap the Diancie and removing it from the field. Unfortunately, despite I've taken a lot of, well, I haven't taken a lot yet, but I'm going to take a lot of damage from these two mons across my mons. It's like, even if Indeedee and Diancie aren't the most threatening mons, just spamming moves will still chip me down. So I'm seriously worried about him setting up Trick Room with Dusknoir later on and just winning with whatever mon he has in the back. Taunt just is free. Even if he predicts that. Now I have Reptilia on my type in. Unfortunately I did get crit, so I'm going to die to 2 moves. There's not a whole lot to say about like this sequence of plays. I'm just trying to keep Ratila alive for as long as possible, so that I can maybe taunt Dusknor if I get a kill. And I'm just going to pick Expanding Force and remove the Diancie. Maybe it would have been better to taunt the Diancie with Ratila instead. Because, well, if it follow me, I don't take an Expanding Force and I'm at the same place with more HP. And if I taunt, he can't protect the Diancie. To like wait until Ratila dies or something. But I mean, at that point I just get Lucifer in, I get a kill basically. So probably in the best, not the best, but I'm in a pretty good position at this point. But like, doesn't really need Diancie to beat me. He only really needs either Trick Room or Indeedee, and something that can just kill all my mons, because my form of damage is Little Devs, and if you can just have something that hits me hard enough for me to not be able to Velodrome with it, I don't have a way to win this actually. Like, but this, like, going into Little Devs is pretty free. If it goes into something that can hurt my Little Devs, I can just protect Little Devs and swap my type into Mystic Fair and just kick Fake out Velodrome the following turn. Because of my type, he can't swap out the Indeedee to reset the terrain afterwards. He has to keep the Indeedee in, so I will win this terrain war at this time at least. Like, the worst he can do to with that is burn it. He can't actually kill it with the Snore unless it's like Nightshade, Shadow Ball, or Shadow Punch. Because I eat up my Citrus Berry, he can't touch me with Poltergeist, which is the Snore's best cancel move. But he sets up the Trick Room. That's completely fair. That's probably the only way for him to win this. Now, I don't want to Aqua Jet the Dusknor this turn with Little Devs. Assuming that Indeedee will follow me, I don't want to hit Dusknor with the Aqua Jet. I just want to kill the Indeedee with Grassy Glide and keep the Dusknor alive. Because if he like clicks like Protect on Indeedee and sacks his Copper Raja, I mean his Dusknor, then suddenly I'm against Indeedee next to Copper Raja in Trick Room, where he can just follow me away moves. But also is Little Devs is faster than Mr. Fair currently because of the Trick Room. So if you follow me, Indeedee will take the Aqua Jet and the Grassy Glide will go into Copper Raja instead. Then I just have to read what he will do, and then either protect or not protect. But yeah, he doesn't get the chance to do that. I double target into Copper Raja because Aqua Jet is a wall. If it's like max bulk with max HP, it's a wall, so might as well just call for that. And well, Dusknor isn't going to. Dusknor can't do anything, so it's the correct way to just ignore it. And yeah, that's game set match at this point. Good games for my opponent's Stitch. I'm sorry that you had to face such a bad matchup in your first week, but good luck for the rest of the season, as well as everyone else in the league. that will be it for me. Thank you guys for watching, see you guys next time.